Thank you for those that are coming in. Welcome. It is Prophetic Tuesday. And welcome to all of you. I want you to share this as much as you can, as many times as you can. And make sure you invite everyone you can. Tell them that Prophetic Transformation Tuesday is on. We are on, we are on. The screen looks crooked. Share this as you are coming in. Those of you that are coming in, share this. I want you to share this. You know how we do on Tuesdays, share this with everyone that you know and tell them that we are on. We are on tonight. And we want to welcome all of you that are on. That's coming in. You see that screen? Welcome to those of you that are coming in. Let me know where you are watching from, or just say it's Tuesday. I'm here as you are coming in tonight. I don't see anybody yet. Welcome to those of you. If you're on, just put something in the comments, because I guess I'm not seeing the comments as of yet. Welcome in, Pastor Angela. Oh, that's Ambassador Angela. Welcome in tonight. I see you in. Do you see people on your end? I don't know what's going on with my thing. All right, all right. As you are coming in, we want to welcome you in tonight. Those of you that are coming in on tonight, welcome in Vivian Jones in tonight. Welcome in Vivian Jones in tonight. If you're watching this, share this with at least 5 to 10 people and tell them to come in tonight before we bring in our Instagram. Before we bring in our Instagram family, welcome in tonight. Invite 5 to 10 people to come in tonight to join us on tonight. At least invite 5 to 10 people to come in tonight to join us on tonight. Welcome in Tay is in tonight. We want to welcome in Tay in tonight. All of you tonight, we're going to share some things with you tonight. tuning in tonight. As you are coming in on Instagram, want to welcome you in. Those of you that are on Facebook, want to welcome you in as well. Once again, Lady April 36, good evening to you. Bishop, welcome in Bishop James Sample. Uniondale, New York, welcome in Bishop. Welcome to those of you that are coming in. Blessings be unto you, sir. Can't hear. Let's see. All right. Can you hear me now? Blessings to you, Elder McEwen. Welcome in. Let me know if you can hear me now. My little sis is on, Brittany, all the way from Florida. Listen, let me know where you're watching from, Facebook, Instagram. Let me know where you're watching me from. Where are you from? Welcome in. Is that Tanya Hill? Derek, I might have messed that up. So they're saying you can't hear me on Instagram. All right. Jasmine says she can hear me. Detroit is in the house. Welcome, Detroit, in the house. New Jersey is in the house. Albany, New York is in the house. The Bronx is in the house. Indianapolis is in the house. Facebook, where y'all at? Bronx on Facebook is in New Mexico. Thank you for tuning in from New Mexico. Wow, New Mexico. Want to celebrate all y'all coming in. Jamaica is in. New Jersey is in. Again, to all of you that are coming in, where's my Facebook? Gloria is in. Welcome, Gloria, on Facebook. Listen, if this is your first time tuning in and watching, I want you to stay tuned and please journey with me tonight. You can turn my monitor. One of these monitors off is feeding back. I want you to journey with me tonight. If you can, share with me, stay with me. Tuning in from Canaan. Bless you. That is F. Hickson. That's Reverend Hickson, I believe. Welcome, Reverend Hickson, in. Reverend Hickson is in. And to all of you, listen, I want to share some stuff with you tonight. I need you to stick with me, share with me tonight, and let's hear what the Father is saying to us. And there's some insight that I want to share with you as well. There's some insight. Again, if it's your first time tuning in, it would be the earnest expectation, and it would be a benefit to you to stay in if you can and journey with me. If you're driving, just listen on your phone. Those of you on Facebook. Elder Beavers is in the house, my covenant son. Charmaine on Facebook, Elder Beavers on Facebook. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Again, those of you that watch week after week and you join us week after week, and you're consistent, then you know that as you journey with us and you stick with us and we begin to share things, the Lord oftentimes, most times, we go into prophetic ministry. We go into prophetic ministry and the Lord begins to speak to us. And most of the times the Lord speaks to us, we don't know exactly who people are, and I love it that way. To all of you. Apostle Wilson, bless you, man. Apostle Brian Wilson, honored and humbled. Thank you, man, for tuning in tonight. To all of you tuning in tonight, Minister Keisha, our administrator, is in tonight. Sometimes the Lord begins to speak to me in the beginning. Sometimes he speaks to me at the end. Sometimes he begins to speak to me during the middle and begin to share things with me and things I begin to see and things I begin to hear. And sometimes we go into word and begin to declare and decree. There's something that the Lord shared with me the other day, and I want to share it with you, what the Lord shared with me concerning some things, and I believe it's going to help you. As you're tuning in, you must understand something, and I've been saying this if you've been watching me for quite some time. Teach us tonight. Oh, got you. Lady April, I'm coming for you. All right. As you've been hearing me say this for several weeks, I know on Tuesday we want to welcome in. Also, Minister Hurd is in. She's holding us down tonight. Many of you have been hearing me say this for weeks, and I've been saying this a little bit quite longer than next. We want to welcome in Diane on Facebook. I want to welcome in Diane on Facebook on tonight. And so as I've been saying, this is about expanding our consciousness. It is important that, is that Janae Lily from Utica? It is important that you understand this, but I want to talk, and I want to deal with some insight, and I want to touch on that expanded consciousness and thinking, but I really want to focus on another realm and a different perspective of understanding with the expanding of our consciousness. Consciousness means to be alert, aware, and awake. But something that we're getting ready to come up on in this September month, and the Lord spoke to me about 2 weeks ago and said this will be a September to remember. Now, those of you that are watching, you got to follow the instructions. I want you to put in the comments a September to remember. I want you to hear that, September to remember. We want to welcome in Yolanda in tonight, Tina on Facebook, a September to remember. Is Apostle Wilson, are you still on here? I'm talking and I heard something. But it will be a September to remember. A September, that's right, put it in the comments. A September to remember. That is your first prophetic word tonight for everybody. Understanding, those with faith will grab onto this, and you will see the manifestation thereof. And as you grab onto this with your faith, you will see that. It will be a September to remember. I want you to hear this. Those that have been following me for years, those that watch all the time, you know when God begins to speak to me. And we share some things with you. A September to remember. Is Apostle Wilson still on there? It will be a September to remember. And the Lord shared that with me 2 weeks ago concerning some things. We can also say it the other way, not just as a September to remember, but remembering this September. You will remember this September. You will remember this September. And one of the reasons you're going to, here goes a good place to jump and here goes a good place to praise. One of the reasons you will remember this September is because, watch this, the Lord is getting ready to cause a breakthrough in an area that tried to take your faith. I hope somebody heard that. You're going to get a breakthrough. You're going to walk through and receive a breakthrough, and it's going to work in your favor. Something that was trying to rob you of your faith, you're getting ready to walk into some uncommon favor. It is also a month when the Father will begin to speak on your behalf. He'll begin to speak on your behalf. You won't have to do a whole lot. There's things that are going to start manifesting for you. Hear this. There are things that are getting ready to start manifesting for you in September. And what manifests is going to speak on your behalf. I'm going to say that again. It's going to manifest, and that is going to be it speaking on your behalf. That's it, Facebook. So there are some things that's getting ready to speak and begin to manifest on your behalf in this month of September. And you're going to remember this month. Some of you are already experiencing, and the Lord showed me this some weeks ago, some of you are already experiencing these latter days as we're getting the closing of August and we're going into September. Some of you are already experiencing the manifestations of things coming into your life. And here goes the thing about it manifesting into your life is because, and we got to pick up kind of where we left off on last week, is because your mouth, when you open up your mouth and begin to speak and begin to declare and begin to decree things, things begin to happen. But you must understand what is interesting is because we have shifted into a whole new place. We're shifting into a whole new place now. I'm going to say something crazy, and I'm getting ready to say something crazy in just a few moments. Do not tune off. I'm getting ready to do something, say something, because you're moving into a place as we begin to, you got to watch seasons and times. Ecclesiastic tells us, for there is a season and a time for everything. And if you're not a person that understands and you watch seasons in time in your life or time in your life, you're going to miss the manifestations of God. Some of you, I'm going to say this, some of you, because some of you don't believe it. Some people don't believe this, but those that can believe this can go with me on this journey. Those of you that believe this, and you may have not heard it this way, you live a prophetic life. I'm going to tap into some stuff crazy. Do not tune off. You live a prophetic life. And when you live a prophetic life, things don't make sense. And when I say that prophetic life, I have to go back to understanding. That's why more so than ever, you have to expand your consciousness. Because when you expand your consciousness and you expand the way you think, you expand the way you see things, you expand the way you view things, you expand the way you see yourself, the way you see life, the way you see the Father or God, theos in Greek. Theos is not, it's not a mystical evil thing. Theos is God in Greek. When you expand that and you understand the universe versus the earth, the universe versus the earth. The earth and the universe are not the same. It is the earth that is a part of the universe. And when you begin to expand your consciousness, this is why Jesus began to tell the disciples, and he was talking, if you follow me, and he was sharing with the disciples, trying to get them to tap into another way of thinking, another way of viewing. And here goes a place to praise. One of the key things, and how does God get you to see things from a different view? Here goes a simple thing, but it's yet a deep thing because you never heard it this way. It is your faith. Because faith opens your eyes to see what your natural eyes cannot see. And when you live a life that is a prophetic life, I want you to hear this. When you live a prophetic life, when you understand that, when you embrace those words that I'm saying, if you don't hear nothing else, stick with me for 5 minutes and just take this and then do whatever you want to do. But when you live a prophetic life and you embrace the fact that your life is prophetic, well, what is it? What is a prophetic life? I'm glad you asked. When you live a prophetic life, your life is not governed by the extremities or the restraints or the restrictions of now. Your life is governed by what is to come, by what exists in the future that is not in your now. I'm going to say that again. Number 2, when you live a prophetic life, things to the humanistic mind does not make sense. That's why everyone can't be a preacher. Everyone can't be a worship leader. You have to be willing to allow yourself to expand the way you think and view. We've viewed church from such of a religious mindset that we're not free. Most people, I think I said this last week, most people that attend worship services or say they're Christians, they're not free. And I can tell you that you're not free because you view God from a box and you don't view God from consciousness. Because you see life. This is how we view God. Let's go here. Most people view God like this. There's God, watch this, and whatever he does, I'm going to say something, whatever he does, that's what is. Well, that is true, but here goes the catch, here goes the caveat. Because the power of our choice, I'm going to teach this for the rest of my life. The power of our choice can change the trajectory of our future. I'm going to say that again. Your choice is so powerful that it can change the trajectory of your future by what you choose. God, Theos, the Father, or the divine, he does not, the divine, the one, the only, he does not dictate to control our choice. But yet your choice is the catalyst that affects the trajectory of your future. You can change your future based on your choice. I'm going to break that down, so don't click off. You can change the trajectory of your future by what you choose. Now, one would argue and say, well, the scripture talks about in the New Testament, the new covenant, or the covenant that is new, and about we are predestined and so forth and so on. You got to understand, because most people don't study, they read. And when you just read, you miss out on a lot of things. You have to study. So here it is. Before God created the earth, because earth represents time, the earth is the only thing in the universe that has an extinction. The earth, I'm going to say that again, the earth is the only thing in the frame of the universe that has an extinction. It has an expiration. Time will go away. Time will expire. We know time expires for those of us that live in the earth, because when someone leaves this earth, we use the word die. I know, but I'm going to use that for your understanding, but we should use another phrase to say that, but for your understanding. When a person dies, or when their spirit leaves this body or this shell, this incubator, and they transition from time into eternity. See, no one actually literally dies. You just transfer from one time to the next. Now, here goes the thing. With that being said, when you understand that life is about transferring from one place to another, transferring my thoughts, transferring my energy, transferring my behaviors, transferring where I live, transferring what I drive, transferring where I live, transfer who I'm with. When you begin to embrace and begin to expand the consciousness of your thinking, you start seeing life and people differently. And when you see people and you expand, your consciousness, you start seeing it the way God sees it, or theos. When you expand the way you think and you begin to see things from the way heaven sees things, then you don't judge people, or the word judgment means to impose punishment on people to a degree. You don't impose punishment on someone that has done what you've done, and you don't look at anyone wrong because what you have not done, because what you have not done you could end up doing. That's why you never look at someone crooked, because the same thing someone else did you can end up doing if you're not careful. So we have the ability to change the trajectory of our future by our choice. Okay, you don't believe me? Ask Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve changed the trajectory of their future by the choice that they chose. And because of the choice that they chose, it changed the trajectory of their life. And when the trajectory of their life changed, then now we see a plan that God has in place that says, okay, I know what they're going to do. I can't stop their choice because I gave them their choice. Choice is a power. Choice is a power. You have to choose to get out of bed. You have to choose to want to eat. Choice is a power that most people don't understand. Welcome in Francis Gay. I know that's Debbie. Welcome in, Debbie. And so tonight, for the next few moments, I want to dig into that a little more deeper. Choice is a power. It is a power. That's why you're before, hear this, you are not necessarily what you say, you are what you think. Because whatever you think, that's what you say. And whatever you say, watch this, it's because of what you thought. So choice is a power. Choice is a power. Choice is a power. And because choice is a power, you have to choose your future. I know this might be too much for some people, but I got to dig into this. You You have to choose your future. And it's not saying that God does not see the future. It simply means God, before he made the earth, before he made time, he saw what we all would do. He saw what you would do, what I would do, what you would choose, what I would choose. He saw all of that. And in seeing all that, it allowed him to know who would choose him. This is where it gets interesting. Because he saw who would choose him. And because he saw who would choose him, then Romans 8:28 kicks in. For we know that all things work together for the good of them that do what? Love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. So because he knew what you would choose, because he knew what you would choose, and he knew that you would choose him, then he begins to cause things to work in your favor. And because he makes sure that you make it to where he needs you to make it to because you chose him. So life is a choice. And God does not control your choice. He does not force your choice. You have to choose what you do. So when I say that your choice can change the trajectory of your future by what you choose. Let me give an example. Have you ever been, an example, have you ever said, I missed an opportunity because I didn't choose to go, or because I didn't choose to speak up? Good evening, Cheryl. Welcome in, Cheryl. Well, what happens is you chose not to go, and because you chose not to go or you chose not to speak up, what could have been was not, based on the choice that you chose in that moment. So our choices can alter our trajectory or our future by what we choose. There's been moments in my life when there's certain things I know I should have done that I did not do for whatever reason years ago, whether apprehension, fear, whatever it was. And then I realized had I chose that, my future would have been different. So based on what you chose, it's like when whoever you choose to be in your life, good night, Pastor Angela, whoever you choose to be in your life, now what happens is your future starts to adjust and alter based on the choice. You say, I should have went there. If I would have went there, I would have got this. There's been moments in my life, you feel me, Debbie? So there's been moments in my life when someone says, you need to come over here, such and such is want to meet you, and I didn't go. And then I did not go, and then when I did not go, watch this, and then when I did not go, I'm in a prophetic vein. I'm about to give y'all some more crazy, some insight, some crazy, powerful insight. And then when I did not go, what happened because I did not go, then the persons that I should have been able to meet or that I was supposed to meet, but I did not go, guess what? Someone else got the opportunity extended to them because I chose, for whatever reason, not to go. So in essence, watch the conscience. Expand your conscience of thinking of what I'm saying here. So then I did not go. So then I did not get that opportunity. So my choice affected my future. Wow. You see, the choices that we make affect our future, and then Romans 8:28 says, and for we know that all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord, one called and have a purpose. So then, because the Father prophetically already saw before he created earth is time, before he saw time, before he created time, he saw what we would do, and when he looked and saw that you and I, whoever, you would choose him, to believe in him, to confess him, and to make him and to make him the father of your life, the master of your life. When you chose him, then he begins to make sure that he makes sure you make it to where you need to get to, and you end up where you need to get to despite the choices that he sees you're going to make. So he's making sure that you still have good success. He's making sure that you still prosper. He's making sure that you still get the victory because he's working it all for your good. And that's why I said, when you have to embrace this, many of you live prophetic lives. So things don't make sense, Heard, to the outside person who doesn't have is not aware of how the kingdom works or how the heavens work in the earth when it comes to futuristic things. And it doesn't make sense. And that's why some of you, God, I'm telling you, I live this. The Father will allow a chaos. I just need 10 people to get this. The Father will allow chaos to get you what he knows you've already chose that he's going to bless. Wow. So he will allow chaos to bring you into a future that benefits you. He will allow a tragedy and then manifest the triumph. And that's why you have to stop looking at chaos as if when you feel chaos, or you're saying, well, why is this happening to me? Or why am I in this? Stop asking, why am I in this? And start saying, Father, what should I be gaining from this? Because it's something I'm gaining. He's trying to get me. And so when the scripture says all things work together for my good, that's why there's some people you have to stop telling certain things to, because they don't live in prophetic faith. They don't live in prophetic mindset. Their thinking is small. And they're not conscious of God. They're conscious of religious words, not of kingdom. So when you're trying to explain to somebody what's happening in your life, they are not going to really be able to understand it, because they're not living in that realm of thinking. They don't live in that kind of thinking. They don't understand it. And so your choice can change the trajectory of your life. But the good thing about it is, even though my choice, he said, I set before you death and life, because some of y'all want Bible. I set before you death and life. He says, choose life. So he says, I want you to make the decision. He says, I want you to make the decision on what you're going to choose. And we're moving, I went back into a whole nother research this week, going back into it again, the word meta, meaning beyond. Because that's I know Facebook moved into that, and I don't want to get focused on that, but people don't, that's prophetic. Meta means beyond. And some of you live beyond where you are. And so you're I don't know about this. You're moving in a way that is beyond some of the people who's in your circle. You're moving beyond. And let me tell you something else. He showed me, this is really for prophetic class, what I'm getting ready to say here, so I'm not going to stay in this long. Something else that hit me is that when you live a prophetic life, a life that is governed by futuristic, you live a prophetic life, and you walk in faith, you don't let what you see dictate your life, because you're in a whole nother view, and you're not viewing with your eyes of your natural eyes. You're seeing something else. But this is what the Father said to me. He said, Baron, when you live beyond time, when you live beyond time, he says, you have to be careful that you don't bring what is beyond time into your now environment with people who won't understand what you just pulled to you. And some of you, without even realizing, there's some things you pulled into your now that wasn't supposed to manifest until later. Well, what are you saying here? What are you saying? Well, I'm glad you asked. Call those things that be not. I wish I had somebody in here. And some of you, in your frustration, some of you, you've waited so long on what you believe you was going to have, and before you know it, you spoke up. And what was beyond, here goes a crazy place to dance. What was beyond, it was in your future, you begin to speak, because you have the power. When you open your mouth, Jesus says, if you open your mouth, if you have faith as the size of a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, be thou removed. Am I talking too crazy? Be thou removed and cast into the sea. So when you open up your mouth, you can call things that are beyond, that is in your future, to begin to manifest in your now. But what happens, here goes the thing. When you pull something from the future into your now, it lands in your now with chaos, because it's such a force that jolts it into your now. It's prepared in the future, but now you're pulling it into your now. Okay, that's not enough Bible for y'all. I don't want y'all to think I'm crazy. Let me give you another one. He said, I will give you the desires, y'all gonna miss this, of your heart. So what the Father says, here goes a prophetic insight. He says, what I'm saying there is that when you desire something, it may not even be the time I was going to give it to you, but because you desire it, and if a man's ways please God, Jesus today. If you delight yourself in me, I will give you he says, so it was for later, but I will give it to you now if you desire it. So you have to be careful that when you're pulling what is beyond into your now, you can handle the chaos, because it's coming with chaos. It's going to look crazy before it brings peace. So there's some things that's birthed out of chaos that becomes your peace. Because it wasn't for now, it was for later. And once you pull it and you cry out to the Father for it to come now, Jesus, have mercy, house. It's the atmosphere, time in your now isn't even ready for what exists in your future. And many of you have pulled things that was for later into your now because you cried out to the Father. Jesus have mercy. Okay, that's not enough for you. You remember the children of Israel? The children of Israel were led by prophets, not by kings. They started looking at everybody else. And they says, you know what? We want a king. And God says, tell them they don't need a king. God says, tell them they don't need a king right now. You don't need a king right now. But the children of Israel wanted a king. And it wasn't that the Father didn't have a system set up to give them a kingdom later. It says that they couldn't wait. They wanted it now. So then God says, okay, I'm going to give them a king. Oh my God, I think I better get out of here because I'm tapping into some crazy stuff here. I'm telling you my conversations that I have with the Father. He says, okay, y'all want the king now? I was going to give you a king, but I was going to wait till later because I know how the world is going to go, and I still wanted you to be governed by prophets because I wanted prophets to still be able to speak to the king. So you want a king? I'm going to give you a king now. But the king wasn't but for later. But since you can't wait for David to be born, I'm finna run. I'm going to give you Saul. Yeah. So I'm going to give you Saul. And I'm giving you, here goes the thing. I'm giving you a king. I'm going to give you Saul. Okay? And then once you get Saul, see, they didn't realize, once you get Saul, it's going to get crazy. But I'm going to give you Saul. That's what prophetic living, having a prophetic life is about. That's what it is when what is beyond comes in your now. When God says, okay, I know you want this house now. But I don't want you to have your dream house now. Why don't you just get this house for now? No, I want the dream house. I'm going to give you the desires of your heart. Oh, God. So I'm going to give you the dream house, but the dream house come with more maintenance, more responsibility, more upkeep. The bill is bigger. Yeah. So I'm going to give you the dream house. I'm going to give it to you. I wanted you to walk into it later because there's some things I needed to do with your income first. I'm finna run. But he gives it to us. Now here goes the caveat, because I'm nowhere in here speaking in a negative connotation about the beyond becoming your now. What I'm trying to tell you is when you pull what is later into your now, be ready for what comes with it. Because it has to now learn you. And you have to be willing to accept it. And you're not going to be able to make sense to most people about how you have chaos, but you calling it a blessing. I'm running. I want to run. I want to run. I want to run. And so the Father says, tell them this. He says, it goes, I know some of you, this is going to rub you, but he says, you got to realize, stop asking me to bring you out of the storm. I can easily bring you out of the storm. I can easily stop the storm. Why don't you let me show my glory and bless you in the storm? Let you be fruitful, let you multiply, let you increase. Let me allow you to walk through this storm, but your bills is paid. You got uncommon favor. You're not dead no matter what the doctor said. You're still increasing in your job. Your ministry is still progressing. You still got your sanity. You're being hurt, but it ain't over for you. He says, sometimes I don't remove you from it. I bless you in it. And some of you don't realize it. Some of you saying, Lord, stop the haters. And the Father saying, I don't want to stop the haters. Lord, stop them from attacking me. I don't want to stop them from attacking you. I want to prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies. Let me prepare the table for you. Let me prepare the table in front of your enemies. Let me bless you in front of your doubters. Let me prosper you in front of them. Let me take you around the world. Let them see you going on vacations and you're not struggling. Let them see your ministry taking off. Let them see your life being restored. You graduating from college, your business expanding. He says, let them see. Don't go silent. Don't go quiet. Don't go in a cave and hide. He said, don't go hide. You want me to silence them, and I need them to sit at the table. Sometimes what you're calling a curse is a blessing in disguise. And that is because we want to get out of stuff. And some things you got to realize it's not for you to get out of right. It'll pass. But right now, sometimes he wants to bless you in it. He wants to prosper you in it. He wants to grow you in it. Right there with all your tears, he wants to prosper you. And when you begin to expand the conscience of the way you think and the way you view God, God is bigger than religious people, thinking, sex. He's bigger than traditions. He's bigger than the King James Verb Bible. It's bigger than that. And when the Father is when you're asking him to do something that only he can do, it is, Ebony. When you're asking him to do something that only he can do, stop whining. He says, so tell them that their choice can change the trajectory of their future by what you choose. That's why you have to be careful when you open up your mouth what you say, because you will have what you say. And sometimes you can't see what you said because it's building itself. You got to change the way you view, change your perspective, change the way you're seeing things. Because when you begin to change the way you see things, your life will grow. So that's what I have for you tonight. Your choice can affect the trajectory of your future. And some of you don't live. Some of you don't live in the mind or in the faith of the now. Your faith is somewhere else. Your faith is somewhere else. You moving differently. And you're moving according to your faith. And that's why the people who's in your environment, the people you choose to be in your environment are crucial to how well you handle the betwixt in between time, between the prophecy and the promise. The people who you allow and you call your friends are important because they will either add or subtract. They will either be the liability or the asset. And when you change the way you think, you start to move differently. Because some of you move, you live in faith. Some of you live in faith, and you make moves in your social life, your economic life, your spiritual life, your relationship life on faith. And here goes something for some of you. I want you to hear what I'm saying. That's it, Tay. Here it is. When you live in a faith realm and you walk in a faith realm, people who live in faith realms, people who walk in faith realm are people who take risks. And when you take risks, you're not just taking risk on things. You're not just taking risk on your life. You're also taking risk on people. And that always leaves you vulnerable to be hurt. But you self-heal. Why? Because you know how to get back into the place of faith realm for you. And some of you live and you walk by faith. Okay, Tay. It's important that you understand this. So your choice can change the trajectory of your future by what you choose, by who you choose. It can change the trajectory of your future by who you choose. Whoever you choose to be with is going to change the trajectory of your future. For the better? Okay, y'all get it. And so that's why you keep hearing me talk about expanding your consciousness, because you have to see things from a different window. Some of you, the window that you've been looking out of, that window is not the right window. You need a different view. You need a different view. That's why I'm getting myself in a place even more so than ever to really change the way I move, how I talk, where I speak. This is what came to me today in my meditation. Your thoughts are so valuable, you can't waste them on people. Watch this, on people who don't know what to do with your thoughts. They don't know how to handle your thoughts and the way you see things and the way you view things. Don't ever get discouraged because challenges hit your life. Challenges will hit your life. You will be tried. Every day is not going to be a day that presents itself with the greatest joyful day ever in your life. Whether by circumstances out of your control, whether a loved one passing, there are things that are going to hit your life, but you have to keep on living. What we choose affects the future, our future. It affects the trajectory of our future. It affects how you land, where you go. Your choice, our choices do it. Just think about that. The choices you've made are the reason why you've gone through what you've gone through. Not the devil. Okay, that's too much. Because everybody, I keep saying this, I've been saying this for years. We have to stop blaming devil, quote unquote, or darkness, quote unquote, because it's not always devil. It's our choices. The devil operates off of the choice you made, and he tries to magnify the choice you've made. Did y'all hear what I just said? The enemy feeds off the choice you've made, and he tries to magnify the choice that you've made or affect the choice that you've made. Debbie, you rock with me tonight. It's our choices. And people ask me all the time, do you have any regrets? I used to have regrets years ago. I don't say that. I've said that years. I don't have regrets. I have lessons that I've learned in life because of what I chose. The things that I've gone through, I've experienced economically wise, in my relationship wise, in my spiritual walk, in my business, whatever it is, it's because whether good or whether it didn't turn out the way I thought, it's the choice that I made. And you have to be man enough and woman enough to stop blaming the enemy for the choice you've made or asking God, where did he go? He has not left you. You feel like he's left you because the choice you've made have moved you from his presence. He didn't move. He's still where he was in your life. But your choice separates you from him. If you choose to go to college, and then you get in college, and then you leave college for whatever reason, and then 10 years later you're saying, I should have stayed in college because now someone offered you a job, but you don't have the master's degree, that's not the devil. It's the choice you made. But it's not the end of the road for you. It's just the choice you made 10 years later now puts you in a predicament that opportunity cannot be extended to you because of the choice you made. So now Romans 8:28 steps in this room again. I wish I had. God, house. He says, even though you made that choice, and now you can't have this opportunity, I'm still going to work it for your good, and I got another opportunity I'm going to give you a different way, because I'm going to make it work for you. Somebody put in the comments, he's going to make it work for me. He's going to make it work for me. He's going to make it work for you. He's going to make it work for you. You have to get out of your feelings, get out of your emotions, get out of what someone did to you, what someone said to you, who left you, who lied on you, who told your business, who hurt you, who's trying to set you up, who's still talking bad about you. People have people talking bad about them, and they are growing, they are prospering, they are progressing, they are still living life. Because they refuse to die where someone dropped them off at. That's it. Put it in the comments. He's going to make it work for me. You have to refuse to die where someone left you. Refuse to die where you left yourself. Refuse to die where the choice you've made did not benefits you in a positive way. You have to refuse to lay down. You have to refuse to lay in the bed all day and cry. You have to refuse to stop blaming your mother, stop blaming your father, stop blaming your ex. All of those people, you have to stop blaming them and choose to make a change to the trajectory of your future. Stop blaming him because he left you and don't want nothing to do with the kids. Stop blaming her because she don't want you. Listen, whatever it is, wherever you are in your life, you have to choose something different. And you have to live beyond. Whatever choice you make in your life is going to shape your future. And here it is. Let me get ready to close with the kicker. Here it is, because I said many of you live a prophetic life. And 2 + 2, when you live and you embrace a prophetic life, does not make sense. When you live a prophetic life, things are not going to make sense. People who live a prophetic life have to walk by faith and not by sight. I don't walk by sight, I walk by faith. So I make decisions on faith. I move in faith. If you're still alive, that means you still have something you still need to do. If it doesn't matter, if you're going to live only 5 more days, there's something you need to do, something you need to say. Life still has purpose for you as long as you are living. Find the pond you can grow in. Find the field you can grow in. Find the environment you can produce in. Find the environment where you can excel in. Some of you have to be willing to take risk because you've been sitting in the same place saying the same thing. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go, I'm going to go. And you've been saying it for 100 years. And because you stayed stuck, the graciousness of the Father, He still allowed you to prosper in your stuckness. I'm finna run. He still allowed you to prosper in your stuckness, but he's saying, I had way more than that for you. But since you chose this trajectory, I'm going to Romans 8:28 you and still let it work for your good. But I have so much more for you, but you got stuck in your stuckness. Some of you have to expand the way you think. You got to look beyond. You got to look beyond. God wants to do something beyond you, beyond time. You're not too young. You're not too old. If Sarah can have a baby in her 90s, listen, you can still produce. You can still produce a vision, a dream. You can still produce your ministry. You can still produce the business. It's not too late. Your choice, I'm done, changes the trajectory of your future by what we choose. By what we choose. By where we choose. By who we choose. It shapes your future. If you want to know how far you're going, look at the people you spend the most time with. You can't go no further than they think. Because when you make them a value piece of your life, you can't go no further than they think. Because if you value their opinion, there's things you won't do because of the way they think. Jesus have mercy. You become the byproduct of the environment that produces you. You know how many things have not made sense in my life? It didn't, but I know I live a prophetic life, so it doesn't, I know when things don't make sense. I know when I'm in a prophetic season. And there's moments when I get quiet and I just start hearing the Father, and I'm watching and observing everything around me, and I'm watching how everything is moving around me. Because I know right there I'm in a prophetic wave. And I'm watching how everything moves. My money, the people in my life. I'm watching how my ministry moves. I'm watching how everything moves because it's a wave. It's at that moment that the Father's saying, Veron, I'm getting ready to do something beyond you. Just watch how this prophetic wave moves in your life. And I'm watching everybody. So I move in a certain way because I understand he's getting ready to do something beyond me. And here goes no, that's too much. It's a prophetic movement. And when you live a prophetic life, I don't live for the now. I live for the future. And some of you don't even realize it, but that's how your life has been moving. It's a prophetic movement. I know why I am where I am. You can't ask me how did I get here. I can tell you how I can tell you how I got where I am literally right now. And there are things that God will allow in my life. And I'll say, okay. And it doesn't make sense to the outside eye, but I'm fully aware. And the Father says, understand, number one, let's recap. Your choice affects your trajectory of your future. There's power in your choice. There's power in your choice. 3, many of you live a prophetic life. A life that sees faith and not seen with the natural eye. Next, do not allow the chaos to make you think you've missed God. Next, some of you, because the scripture says, if you delight yourself in me, I'll give the desires of your heart. Some of you have taken what was beyond and poured it into your now. You can call those things that be not as though they were. And some of you called things into it. You spoke out of your mouth and called to you wasn't what wasn't for later. So now you have to go through everything that you're going through with it, business, whatever it is, because it was for later. But you called it now because you got impatient. And so now you have to rock with the storm. Whew, that's deep, Father God. Jesus, have mercy. Some of you, I don't know, some of you, you remember back, do they still sell these now and laters? Y'all remember now and laters? How many of you on Instagram, Facebook remember now and laters? Now and later. They had the green ones, they had the pink ones, they had the purple ones, then they came out with the banana ones, and now and later. Y'all remember that? You remember that, Debbie? Y'all remember that? Here, let me give you something. Most people don't even understand what that was. The reason why they were called now and later is because when you would eat it now, it will still be in on your tongue later. It was called now and later. So when you eat it now, it'll still show up later. I'm finna say something. I'm finna say something. You have to realize that there's moments in your life that's sometimes what happens with your life. Because you eat something now, but it was for later. He gives it to you now, but it was for later. Wow. Our choices change the trajectory of our life. Our choices change the trajectory of our life. Let's give God some praise. Our choices change the trajectory of our life. I want you very quickly, as we get ready to come to a close, I want you to put in the comments, there's more power in my choice than in my words. There's more power in my choice than in my words. Why is that? Because there's no words without your choice. There's more power in my choice than my words. There's more power in my choice than in my words. I want to thank all of you that have watched tonight. I know we said a lot. Yeah, y'all put that in the comments. There's more power in my choice than my words. There's more power in my choice than more. Tay on Facebook said she has a testimony. Put that testimony up, Tay. She said she has a testimony. There's more power in my choice than in my words. You have to change the trajectory. Sometimes you have to change. That's it. Listen, look at y'all is putting it in the comments. The instructions is important. There's more power in my choice than in my words. You are the gatekeeper to your success. That's the next thing I want you to put. It's in line with what I'm saying. I am the gatekeeper to my success. I am the gatekeeper to my success. You are. By your choice, by what you choose. You are the gatekeeper. Tay on Facebook has, right, let me see. Tay on Facebook has a testimony. She said, I'm going to attempt to read this. It's not on her part, it's on me. Last week you said, the Lord showed you a badge for me. I initially thought it was my new city job, but then I realized it was about my exam that was Tuesday. My exam was Friday. I prayed the night before, I prayed in the morning. When I got to the testing center, I ran in the bathroom, put my hands up high, and just started talking to God. I surrendered. I said to God to please allow me to pass my exam if this is truly my time. And then my tears flowed, but I was not sad. I just felt humbled. I took my exam. When I got to my last 30 questions, my spirit told me to take a break. The exam was 150 questions. I had another moment in which I spoke to God. I went back, finished the exam, submitted. About 5 minutes later, I got a printout with my results. Not only did I pass the exam, I passed with more points than I needed, and now I am a licensed master social worker. Jesus, have mercy in that. Jesus today. Wow. 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 That's powerful, Tay. That was a testimony from Tay, a prophetic word that we gave, and she was given a testimony about that. There's power in prophecy. There's power in the prophetic. There is power in the prophetic. They're saying congratulations to you on Instagram, Facebook, as you can see them. Let's give her one more shout out. Is Janae Lilly still on here? Are you still on here? Janae Lilly, I saw something a while ago for you, but I just didn't say it because I was in the height of what I was doing. Is Janae Lilly is on here? Elder Beavers, if you're still on here and Janae's not on here, tell Janae to get back on here real quickly if she can. Wow, what a testimony. I know Debbie had a testimony. She DM'd me. I think that was last week. Debbie DM'd me about student loan. Her student loan was paid off. I think it was over $60,000. Was it $67,000 of a student loan? Jesus, and she was letting me know about that. A student loan, $67,000. I feel that too. I ain't got a student loan, but if I listen, $67,000. Jesus, have mercy. I love to hear the testimonies. Some of y'all forget to let me know, but I love the. Can y'all believe 67? That we need to praise God one more time for that. There's power in prophecy. $67,000 gone, just like that. All right, here goes another. Ended my job of 14 years last week. Started my new job next week. Moving. You saw me moving. I'm moving to Times Square, starting a dream job. Increase. Lakeisha Johnson, thank you for that testimony. Times Square. Elder Beavers, are you still on here? I think Elder Beavers is gone. But we want to thank God for those of you with testimonies. All right, I'm going to ask those of you that will. Tonight. Let's put a seed in the ground. Let's put some seeds in the ground. It's time to give. Let's put some seeds in the ground. Let's put some seeds in the ground. All right, anybody? That's another testimony. That's the same one. All right, if anybody else has a testimony, just let me know. But let's put some seeds in the ground. Your seed, you never can give a seed without seeing it come to pass. And the word seed is the word see. And seed is what brings your harvest. There's nothing, everything gives. Everything around the world sows, not just crops. Everything sows. Everything sows. So I'm going to ask those of you that will put a seed in the ground. All right, I'm going to ask at many of you that can and will to put a seed in the ground. Put a seed in the ground. Put a seed of, we're going into the 9th month. We're going into September. We're also going into, it's coming up, it'll be Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, the new year for the Jews. We go off of the Gregorian calendar, but the celebrating of Rosh Hashanah is the beginning of time, of creation. But it is also the beginning of a new year. And so we're going into the 9th month. We're going into the ninth month. We're going into September. And I'm going to challenge many of you that will. If you can't give what you don't have. I know what seeds do. Many of you also know what seeds do. Your seeds are not in vain. If you can give a tip to a restaurant, put gas in your car, and etc., sowing seed should not be a struggle, and it should not be a question because it is the seed. The kingdom of God is the only, hear this, the kingdom of God is the only stock market that does not crash. It is the only investment that always yields a return. It never crashes. It always yields a return. It always yields a return. All right, I'm going to ask those of you that will to get at least, those of you that can and you will on tonight, I want you to get at least $22. I want you to sow at least $22. Those of you that can and will get a $22 seed and put your seed in the ground. Those of you that want to give more of a seed, put it in the ground. Maybe you're on here and you want to give a tithe. You say, listen, I watch you, and every week I got people that always say, you are my internet pastor, and there's a couple of you that do send your tithes, and I appreciate that. I didn't tell them to do it. They do that for their own purpose and their own choice. I didn't tell them they had to do that. But tonight, those that can get at least $22 and sow that in the seed. The ways to give is there. The Cash App is there. If you're on Instagram, it is there as well. I'm going to pin it. When you put it in there, say, my seed is in the ground. Those of you that would give $22, those that give $22, those of you, at 3 of you, that could give at least 222, 22, 20, double, triple two, 222. So 22 or 222. 3 of you that can do that or more. But those that can do the $22, you're sowing it. You're saying, my seed, the ground. Tay's seed is in the ground. Thank you, Tay. Kathy Morris' seed is in the ground. Thank you very much, Kathy. Her seed is in the ground. MXV-ANG seed is in the ground. MXV.ANG, if you don't mind, put your first name. I just saw something for you. Just put your first name there. As you put those seeds in the ground, I'm going to, I like to acknowledge you because you don't have to sow, but I thank you for sowing. Those of you that are sowing seed, my minister Jackie, last week we asked for $45, and she gave it all the way from Jamaica. She always sow her seed. She sent it by MoneyGram, so we want to thank her for that seed from last week. Those of you that have been sowing your $17 weekly seed, thank you for continuing to sow your $7 weekly seed. Her name is Angie. Angie, I just saw you traveling. I saw the word travel over your head. Thank you, Christine. Thank you, Lakeisha Francis. Thank you for sowing. Those seeds are coming in the ground. I see those seeds coming in. Angie, I saw the word travel, and I saw you traveling. And I saw the word traveling and travels. Movement in travels. Traveling in travels. Not just traveling, to different places. But there is shifting in your life. There's a movement. I hear the word movement and shifting and movement that is taking place in your life, and you're moving into some major things. This next coming up year, there's some major things and major opportunities. Matter of fact, you're already on the horizon of some major things that is getting ready to happen for you. Thank you. Debbie's seed is in the ground. Elizabeth Whitefield's seed is in the ground. Thank you. That is for Angie. I seen the word travel, and there are some major things that are getting ready to happen for you in this next coming up year. Some major things that's getting ready to happen for you. You're getting ready to walk into a fulfillment of dreams. That's what I heard. She said, I'm in the process of buying my first place. Jesus, have mercy. Oh my God. Yeah, yeah. That is what I hear the word of the Lord for you, Angie. You're getting ready to enter into, as you're not just moving or traveling, um, from place to place, but moving and movement. That is what's, and it's opened up. Thank you, Yaya. Seed is in the ground. Thank you, Yaya. Yaya seed is in the ground. That is what I heard you. All right, as they are still giving, we want to thank you in advance for those that are still giving. If you have not signed up for the 100, please sign up for the 100. Thank you, Joanne Johnson seed is in the ground. Vivian Jones seed is in the ground. Thank you for those seeds. Those of you that sow on the 22. Also, Angie, I just heard something, and this it should make sense to you. I just heard business acquisition. I just heard that. Business acquisition. Business acquisition. You're going to be a catalyst in the world of entrepreneurship. You're going to be a catalyst and a voice in certain environments and on certain panels when it comes to entrepreneurship as well. Wow. All right. They're putting those seeds in the ground. If I'm missing anybody, I know Keisha is on here. Please let me know. Mother Johnson, thank you so much, Mother Johnson, for your seed. I think I called her name already. Her seed is in the ground. Thank you so much, Mother Johnson. Business, I keep hearing that, business acquisition. I'm talking to Angie. I'm not just throwing out in the air. I'm talking to Angie. So I know who I'm talking to. Business acquisition. You're going to be a key voice in the world of entrepreneurship. You're going to be a catalyst. I see you in certain environments. I see you on panels, being invited to sit on panels. Wow. Oh my goodness. Facebook, y'all can't even see what she just wrote on Instagram. Wow. 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 I'm gonna just clap. I'm gonna just do the clap. I can't make this stuff up. I can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. I be telling people all the time, I don't know how people think God ain't real. I just don't know. I can't make this stuff up. Wow, 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 wow. That's all I can say. I see Debbie's emoji. That's all I can say. I'm just wow. Wow, 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 wow. Mm. Sometimes you just gotta just sit with something and just think for me. Like, he never ceases to amaze me. Sometimes I just get locked like, Jesus have mercy. All right. Is there anyone in it? Debbie, listen. Real? Come on. That just blew me away. It blew me away. It just blew me away. All right. Is there anyone giving the $222? If you're giving the $222, or if you gave that, let me know. I don't want you to go off the line without me speaking into your life. If you gave the $222, those of you that did that. Otherwise, we're getting out of here. It's not about getting your money. It's not even about that. It's bigger than that. And I think some of you understand that it's about seed. I'm telling you something. I know people that don't go to church every Sunday. I know people who don't even quote unquote have a pastor. And they're in the entertainment world, they're in the acting world, they're on Broadway. And anytime they get me to do something major, the ones that I know, they'll reach out to me and they'll say, check your Cash App. And they say, what is the Lord saying concerning me? They're smart enough to know what a seed does. I find, not all, but it seems like the people, not all, not everybody, but the people that go to a local church every week, grew up in church, have the hardest time giving a seed. And people who don't go every week, they understand the power of seed, time, and harvest. I'm serious. It is the truth. I won't disclose their names because I don't do that, and I don't like name dropping. Not that they didn't tell me not to. I just don't like the name dropping. I like to keep people's life private. I don't got a name drop. All right. All right, we want to thank, is that Razor XO? My seed is in the ground. I'm messing up the name, but you know I said your name, the X dot with the XO. XO, her seed is in the ground. I just want to make sure I acknowledge those because some are still giving. Yeah, that's it, Keisha. Amen. It is. It's I don't understand it. It is. I have people that I have people and I don't want to get too much of that, but I have people who, no, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna leave it alone. It's amazing. And I don't say that to knock anybody. It's just that they understand. That's why I'm not bothered by people who say, people say, oh, you know, that person does this or that person does that, but that person got more faith than you got. And you speak in tongues and fall out. And they got more faith than you. They tithe consistently, and you decide whether you would tithe based on your bills. They know when they have a major deal on the table, they'll reach out to me, check your Cash App. Should I do the deal? Should I not do the deal? And whatever I say, they hold to that. And they believe it and they trust it. And all right, listen, I love y'all. I really do. I really, really do. I really do. And I thank you for watching me and those of you that journey with me, because you don't have to watch. You don't have to journey with me. Culture, we're living in a different culture. This is a different time in time. It's a different season. We're coming into September. There's some things that I am trying to change in my life, and I'm evolving. Hopefully you are evolving, and I've been saying this for some weeks now. This going into September, into this fall month, leading us into the new year is going to be an interesting time for the world, for the U.S., for the government. I didn't say bad, I didn't say good, just an interesting time. I'll get more into that at another time, but it's an interesting time for the church, for you as an individual. And there's a lot of things that have shifted in the universe, and what happens in the universe affects the earth. And there's some things that have shifted in the universe, and it's affecting the earth. And we are going to be affected by it, or the recipients of things. And when kingdom begins to release things, we are the recipients of it, or we are affected by it. And so there's some things that we need to pay attention to as it relates to the economic systems. We need to pay attention to, not only that, we have to pay attention to our young adults. And we're going to get into some more of that at a later time. All right, there's power in prophecy. You will see the manifestation if you only believe. Where there is life, there is hope. Where there is hope, there is life. If you're ever near Mount Vernon, New York, come join us at the Life in person. It's one thing to watch us online. It's nothing like being in the house. Let's live together. Let's do life together, and let's evolve and change together, and let's expand the consciousness of what we think, because change isn't change until you change the way you think. And once you change the way you think, you'll change the way you live. All right? Shalom. Peace. We're gone.